Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Who's ready for a great show today? Please put a 100 in the chat. Marcus Speaks. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Marcus Speaks Live. I'm your host, Marcus. If you could do what it says on the screen right here, hold on, going straight at it right there. Like this video, share this video, and subscribe, and hit that bell icon to all so you can get all of your notifications once I go live. So, I have a few promotions to go over once we get started here, and short announcements. So let me get into them now. So, if you could, please don't be shy. Write something in the chat section. I am here to look at all of what you write. I have the chat sitting right here, right next to me. So, other than that, if you could, go and subscribe to both of my YouTube channels. Those YouTube channels are Marcus Speaks, which is my first channel, my main channel, my baby, the one that I've had for the past 4 years of me doing this glorious podcast. And then I have my second YouTube channel, which is Marcus Speaks Play, where I only have exclusive gameplay footage of all of my video games that I have played over the past, year and a half, maybe. I think it's been almost a year now that I've been doing it. So, yeah, please go over there and subscribe. The links are in the description box below. Please be acquainted with the description box. It has everything that you need. Also, I have the scrolling tick down there at the bottom. All right, that is for you. So once you see that gap, that starts over everything that you guys have to read. Basically, the tick's there, so I don't have to say certain things anymore. All right. So once that gap comes up, please feel free to read everything that's on the screen. And also, once again, like this video, share this video, and subscribe if you are new, and hit that bell icon to all. I have one request. If you would like to come up here and talk to me, there is a link in the description box right over there. All right. There is a link right over here. It's like right over here somewhere. It's like over there. So if you hit that link, right? That link is for when you come up here to come talk to me about any of the topics that I have for you today. All right. As well, do I have that in the description? I do not have that in the description. Why silly me? Why didn't I do that? So, let's see. How can I add his name to this? Bryant. Only got 4 slots. So, let's working on this title right now. I'll keep it like that. All right. So, yes, that link that's on the side here. That link is for you. So, if you come up here and you would like to speak to me, I only have one request. And that request is this. If you hit the link, the first rule is you have to be on camera. All right, that's no ifs, and or buts. I'm not budging. You have to be on camera. It's only so I can see who I'm looking at. Number two, if you don't want to be on camera publicly, you still have to be on camera here in the background. And before I bring you up, I'll let you know to turn off your camera. All right? It's only for me, so I know who I'm talking with. I don't want to feel like I'm talking to a bot or somebody that's weird or something. So that is all. That's both of the rules. Have to be on camera. If you don't want to be on camera, you still have to be on camera here in the background. That's the only rules I have for you. All right. So, people, I thank you for being here in this glorious day. Let's get into some things real fast. So, I believe it was Friday morning, which was yesterday. The Supreme Court ruled on the Roe versus Wade. So it's a lot of angry people right now. I'm pretty sure most of them are protesting about it. But there is there's a document that you can read. It has to do with everything that's going on with it. I don't have that in my show plans for today, but next week I will be talking about it. So if you guys want me to talk about it next week, I will, which I'm already planning on doing it. So I'll have that document. I'll put that document up as I'm reading it, and I'll make sure I have some, like maybe like an article or two to talk about what's going on with it and the whole reason why the Supreme Court did that. And like I said, I'll make sure I'll have that done with next week's show. Also, told you guys maybe what two maybe three videos ago that uh I spoke on the World Economic Forum as well as its CEO Klaus Schwab or Klaus Schwab or however the hell you say it in English, but in German because he's German, it's Klaus Schwab. That's how I say it because that's how he says his name, and that's the correct pronunciation of his last name. So I told you that he wrote a book, and that book was called COVID-19: The Great Reset. And I told you that I was going to get it, and I was going to start reading it. So I started reading it last Sunday because I got it through Amazon last week, and here it is right here, y'all. Klaus Schwab wrote this book right here, and I'm reading it. I got through the introduction. Contrary to popular belief, there is, you see, like I have like tape or whatever because I've been highlighting stuff. In the introduction, there are highlightable things to highlight. All right, and I told you guys, once I finish this book, I will be presenting it in a show. All right. So what I'm gonna do as soon as I get finished the book, all of my highlighted parts that I've highlighted in the book, those are the things that we are going to go over. All right. So with that show, it might be a full show of just that. I probably won't have like news or anything like top news of the week. It'll just be just that. I'll just have my promotions, then we'll go straight into the top into what I've highlighted in the book. So as well, um I I was online. I was online. I was on Facebook. Really, I was about to say YouTube, but I was on Facebook. So on Facebook, right, there was this video I came across, and it's this YouTuber. She usually does things that's on like the internet and stuff. So I made sure I found her page, her channel, so I could present this to you guys. So the young lady's name, if you want to go and find her, is Dee Dee, and she usually does like stuff dealing with like relationships and women and men and stuff like that. Some of the things that I talk about here on the show sometimes. So as you saw last week, and that's the beautiful Dee Dee right there. That's right there on the left side here. Her and her sexy ass. So last week I started the show off with a very facially challenged young lady who thought that she could say a whole bunch of things about how she wants her relationship to run. Basically, she wanted to sit on her fat ass like a queen and have her husband or her boyfriend do everything. She didn't want to do shit. She just wanted to stay fat and be pampered. So I found another video, not of hers, but of a of another couple who are going through some very unordinary things. So, but before I play this video, I have to tell you, in order for me to play this here video, I have to make it transformative in a way. All right? There is a policy here on YouTube where fair use, you have to make sure it's transformative in a way to where if you are viewing the full video, you have to make it transformative. All right, which is called fair use. It's also a law, but instead of me telling you, I'd rather have have my other self tell you what fair use is. Hello, everyone. I'm going to tell you about fair use. It's the law. Warning: federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyright motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107. All right, so that is fair use. So without further ado, I bring this to you.
And this happened. This is why some women can't keep a man.
So you mean to tell me you in this house and you fixed you something to eat, you ain't fixed me nothing to eat, you left these dishes in the sink, eating the food that I bought, and you ain't fixed me nothing to eat, and I gotta go to work? I gotta go to work.
Good thing his face is blurred because it gets worse. It gets worse. It gets real worse. All right, let's go.
You ain't got no job. You don't do shit around here, but you want to come here and up my shit. You want to don't even wash the dishes, and you eat, and you ain't fix me nothing to eat. You know what? I'm tired of this.
Oh, chill out, bro.
I'm so fucking tired of this.
Chill out, bro. You asleep, bro.
It does not matter. You could have woke me up and asked me did I want something to eat. You know I had to go to work.
Bro.
You know what?
You doing
this
too much
is your
right now.
last straw.
What you mean my last straw? What you mean my last straw?
I am tired of your shit. I'm tired of it.
Now, as you can see, there's a misunderstanding within this relationship. Now, had she would have if she would have cooked something, would she have woke him up? Just a question. when this video is done, I'm going through. I'm gonna go through every nook and cranny of this video. All right. So let's keep going.
You know what?
Bro, what the bro?
You ain't eating shit now. You ain't eating shit.
But this is the crazy part. She only slid it off the table, and it's really not. If you believe in the 3-second rule, he could have easily got up and grabbed it because none of his food fell on the floor. Only the plate itself fell on the floor. He could have just easily went ahead and picked it up, but by her rage, she probably would have kicked it to where it would have landed on the floor. But we don't know that, so let's keep going.
I don't give a damn. I don't give a.
Oh,
you should have fixed me something to eat. I don't care. You should have fixed me something to eat.
I could have still fixed you something to eat, bro.
Yeah, me first, then you.
You acting like a brat right now, bro.
Okay, you can pick it up.
I would say that just off of the dining area to kitchen alone, I don't know if this is a townhouse or an apartment, but from what I've saw so far, just in this little space, they look like they have a nice house together. Let's keep going.
I'm just saying though, you acting like a brat, bro. You ain't have to do that shit, bro. You didn't have to do that. Like, god damn, bro. Man, they came to eat now. I could have still fixed you something to eat.
Nah, you should have fixed me something to eat first. You around here thinking about yourself and you not even.
Look at what his shirt says, which is funny in this because she's yelling at him and he has a shirt that says, "Who are you?" He could have just asked that question.
Thinking about me.
Bro, I was gonna wash the dishes.
Okay. No, you was not. No, you was not.
You wasn't.
No, you was not.
All right, bro.
Okay.
All right, bro.
And where you think you
I'm
going?
gonna leave, bro. Like that's stupid, bro. And you record? What the you recording me for?
Because these people need to see how stupid you are.
Man, get the out of here, bro.
Where you going? You could get out my room.
Man, come
you
on,
get out
bro.
my room.
Like you doing too much,
Can
bro.
you pick this up too?
You don't.
Well, you should have fixed me something to eat. You know I have to go to
I
work.
could have still fixed you something to eat, bro.
Yeah, but why are you eating first without me? That don't even make sense.
No, what you just said doesn't make any sense. Don't say what he did doesn't make sense. Because what he did is actually, if you look at it, if you see your girl sleep and you're about to cook something, why would I wake you up to see if you want something to eat? I would either not cook for you, or I would make extra and put it to the side just in case if you did wake up and you were hungry, there's something right there. But we'll keep going. Oh shit. What the hell I just do? Alright, here we go.
Man, you sound dumb as hell.
You sound dumb.
You sound dumb as
you
hell.
sound stupid as hell.
Get you something to eat.
Okay, well I'm hungry now. So that food could have been me.
Man, I got my food done.
Okay. And mine should have been done too. And mine should have been done too.
You ain't eating, I ain't eating. Nobody eating now.
Oh, I'm
you
gonna
just
eat.
up the whole thing.
No, I'm gonna eat.
You just messed up the whole thing, bro.
I don't give a damn.
You gonna still fix you something to eat. There's a bunch of food in there.
You should have fixed mine first, like I said.
Bro, get that camera off me, bro.
Nah.
That camera
Where
off
you
me, bro.
going?
I'm gonna get the out of here.
Where you
bro.
going?
Out of here, bro. My phone at, bro.
Nah.
Like, get that camera off me, bro.
No, because
Get
where
that
you
fucking camera off me,
going?
bro.
Where
Get that
you
camera off
going?
me, bro. Man, what the you live for
Well,
social
you
media.
should never sit up
You
here.
live for social media.
Whatever.
Bro, get that phone out my face.
Baby.
Now, that could have been counted as a domestic as soon as he grabbed the phone, but look, let's go through some of what happened real quick. So as you can see, she wakes up, sees that he has some food, and she starts to trip. Now, I've been through this. Short story too, very short, shorter than usual. I come home from work and there's nothing on the stove or nothing in the or there isn't a plate waiting for me in the microwave for me to heat up so I could eat. Just getting off of work, I'm very hungry, so there should be no reason why I don't have a plate anywhere or whatever. So I had to fix myself something to eat. Now, I didn't have a problem doing that. It's just the principle of at the time I was the only one working in the house. I was the only one paying the rent, only one paying utilities, and only one taking care of things that had to do with the household. So y'all could say, "Well, Marcus, that's very honorable that you took up that responsibility of taking care of your girlfriend and stuff like that." Yes, very honorable. It's something that men strive to do. But when I have to come home to no food anywhere, but I hear from you that you've ate, but there's nothing waiting for me to eat after I worked a 10-hour shift, there's a problem. There is a big problem there. Now, from his experience, him him getting his plate knocked off of the table. Same thing happened, but instead of knocking it off the table, mine was flipped over to where everything was on the floor. So I had only had maybe like one or two bites of what I had fixed to eat. Because the argument went somewhat similar to this. It was more so of why do you feel as though I have to make you something to eat every time you come home from work? So a knowledgeable person would think, I'm not working, I'm not doing shit. So the best thing that I can do right now until I get a job is to make sure that my boyfriend or husband is fucked good and make sure something is in his stomach at all times. That's what some women don't understand. Now, a good woman would know her place and shut the fuck up. Now, if he's not working and he's eating up all her food and stuff like that, okay, I understand that part. And yeah, that's a little fucked up, homie, if you are not working, but you're eating up someone's food who has to work hard for that to make sure that the house gets kept up nice and stuff like that. Um, and you're sitting there eating up all the food. Well, there's a fucking problem. But we don't know that for sure. We just know that she had to work that night. So since he wanted to eat, but then let's say he wasn't thinking about making anything for her, then there, in her eyes, there was a problem. Now let's take this back a little bit. We don't know what happened. All we know is that he didn't fix her something to eat. From what she says, that's all we know about what's in this video. That's all we know. Now, by her recording the whole thing, that is the problem. That's the biggest problem that we have here. And I'll tell you why. Some people seek too much fucking attention. Seek attention from people that don't even like you. So for her to record this while she's spazzing out on him, that's wrong. And it's wrong for this reason. Who are you trying to show that your boyfriend or whomever he may be? Let's say he's her boyfriend. We don't know for sure. If you have a problem with what he's doing, why do you have him at the house? And if you had to go to work, why why is he in your house while you're asleep if he doesn't live there? Some people may say, well, Marcus, that's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous question. Why would you ask that? I always base things off of what I do. If I'm with someone and I don't live with you, and you say I'm gonna go to bed before I have to go to work, I'm not gonna be in your house. Here's one of the reasons why. Number one, I don't live there. Number two, I know I'm gonna get hungry. And number three, I don't live there. I don't live there. I don't live there, and I don't want to be here causing any ruckus, waking you up, and not having you get all your sleep that you need. Now, let's get into the nooks and crannies of this. They have a very toxic relationship. That's off bat. That's off bat. They have a very toxic relationship. And this is something that she gets off on, sorry. For the simple reason is this. She basically did this for the world to see, which means she does not respect this man at all. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. She does not respect the man that she is with. Because if it was, and let's just say that this happened. Let's just say when they got together, she brought him into her home and said, "You have free reign here. You can do whatever you want, or whatever. Just don't break anything of mine, or what have you. Clog my toilet up, whatever. Let's say that." So if you say he has free reign to anything and everything in your household, that means food too. Now, if he's eating up all your food, then yeah, okay, then there's a problem. But it looked like he didn't really have much on his plate. Looked like he had like a lid or something from somewhere. You know how black people do. We save, like when we order out like from Chinese food restaurants. If we're getting like one of the platters, we save that container. We wash it. We save it just in case we got either put something in it as far as like leftovers or something, or take it to lunch with us the next day at work or something. Just it's convenient to have. But he didn't look like he had much on his plate. So for you to start tripping about what the hell he's doing, about what he's eating, there is no fucking reason why you should be spazzing the hell out. Only thing she had to do was, damn, you could have made me something to eat too. It could have went on about her day, but nah, she had to make it a big fucking production. She had the nerve to say, "How you gonna sit here and eat without me?" What? It's a lot of things I do without you. I wash my ass without you. I drive to work without you. I fucking cash my check without you. Why the fuck do I need you here with me while I'm eating? There's no fucking reason for you to be around me while I'm eating. If we did not, one, if we didn't cook dinner, or if one of us didn't cook dinner and tell you, "Come on, dinner's ready, your plate's here." If I'm ordering out and you say you wasn't hungry and I'm just sitting there eating, and you come up and say, Well, how you gonna just sit there and eat without me? You said you didn't want shit, so therefore I didn't order you shit. So therefore you will not be eating. But her logic, he's stupid as fuck. My final words on this is this. Look, fellas, get the fuck from unruly bitches like this, because they're gonna do one of two things. They're gonna have you in jail, or they're gonna have you. Let me back that up. They're gonna make you go upside their head, and then you'll be placed in jail for a domestic, or you're gonna kill her because of bullshit like that. You don't fucking do shit like that. Like, it was totally unnecessary for all of that to happen. Totally unnecessary. No reason for that to even happen. But I digress. Fellas, stay the fuck from toxic females. Ladies, stay the fuck away from toxic men. Because toxic plus toxic does not mean you'll have a good relationship. It means you'll have the worst fucking relationship you've ever been in. And there you see was a bad relationship, a bad toxic fucking relationship. Coming from someone who's been in I'll say maybe two toxic toxic relationships. You don't fucking do shit like that. Alright? Now, moving on. If you guys don't know, let's change the music up a little bit. Marcus. Alright, yeah, that's good right there. So, there is something going on with what's her name? Vanessa Bryant. Vanessa Bryant, she is in court right now. She's in court for the very reason of, if you guys don't remember, there was a LAPD sheriff that took basically unflattering pictures of Kobe Bryant and Gigi Bryant, their daughter, together after the plane crash. So, as we all know, back in early 2020, Kobe Bryant was flying he was in a helicopter being taxied to I believe it's Nevada, I believe, if not like upper California, for I believe it was a basketball game that was happening. So it was him, Gigi, along with a couple of Gigi's teammates and their parents. So, as we know, that day was a day that wasn't that great for flying, planes, helicopters, whatever. Also, the reason why a lot of the planes and helicopters were grounded is because in LA it was a very foggy day around like the mountainous areas. So Kobe Bryant insisted that they take the helicopter, because after he during his NBA career, he started seeing that he was missing a lot of time when it came to his kids. So the reason why he saw he was missing a lot of time, because he was always in traffic trying to get to and fro to, picking his kids up from school and make sure that they get home, and then getting to practice and stuff like that. So he basically was like, I'll just take a helicopter for now on. I'll take a helicopter to pick my kids up. I'll take a helicopter to take them to school, just so I can spend time with them more, and make sure that they're getting everything from their dad. If they have a ear that they need to listen to them, if they need some sort of consoling to make sure that they're feeling good, I'll do that. And he put his family first. So as we know, the plane crashed into the into a mountain, and it tumbled and it was on fire. So Gigi and Kobe were embracing each other because of the helicopter hitting and them, pop. They were embracing because, from what I know as having a niece around Gigi's age, I'm pretty sure Gigi was scared as soon as it happened, and she embraced her father. And I'm pretty sure Kobe let her know that everything was going to be fine. And then the helicopter caught fire, which they were engulfed in it along with, I believe, another kid, I believe, and a parent. And Gigi and Kobe died in the helicopter crash.
Cody.
So once the police officers got there, the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department got there, there was one sheriff that took pictures of both Kobe and Gigi's remains. So, since Vanessa didn't hear a word until she got on her phone and started seeing people say R.I.P. Kobe, she started to panic because she knew that Kobe went up in the helicopter that day to get Gigi and a few others to their basketball game. So, with that being said, Vanessa didn't see that was very that was a good thing to do for that officer to take pictures of her loved one's remains. And not only that very same night after he got off of work, the police officer, he started showing people at a bar that he frequented. He started showing people and saying, "Hey, look, that plane, the helicopter crash from earlier with Kobe and I got the pictures right here. Look, this is him. It looks like he's embracing somebody. Like look at these pictures." Vanessa didn't see that as something that she wanted out there, so she's put a lawsuit on the Los Angeles Police Department for, I believe it's I forgot what it's for, but I'm pretty sure I have it in here. Negligence and invasion of privacy. So I have a video that I would like to share before I get into the article. So here we go.
Vanessa Bryant is sharing details about how she learned her husband and daughter had died. In a recent court deposition for her lawsuit against Los Angeles County, the widow of the late Kobe Bryant described the heartbreaking day she found out that a helicopter crash had claimed the lives of the Lakers legend and their 13-year-old daughter, Gianna. According to a transcript of the deposition that was filed in court last Friday and obtained by multiple outlets, Vanessa first heard of the tragedy from a family assistant knocking on their door. Vanessa said, per the Los Angeles Times, "She told me that there was an accident and that there were 5 survivors, and I asked her if Gianna and Kobe were okay, and she said she wasn't sure." The mom of 4 then said she tried to get a hold of Kobe and also called her mother to have her watch her youngest daughters, Bianca and Capri. She said, per E! News, "As soon as I was on the phone with my mom, I was holding on to my phone because obviously I was trying to call my husband back. And all these notifications started popping up on my phone saying, RIP Kobe, RIP Kobe, RIP Kobe." Vanessa then reportedly said she was told by authorities that they couldn't share information with her over the phone. So she and her eldest daughter, Natalia, got a ride from Lakers general manager Rob Pelinka to a Malibu police station. Los Angeles County Sheriff Alex Villanueva met them there and told her Kobe and Gigi had in fact died. According to E! News, Vanessa said she made this request of the sheriff: "If you can't bring my husband and baby back, please make sure no one takes photographs of them. Please secure the area." She claimed he told her that the area was secure. But less than 2 months later, the Los Angeles Times broke the news that multiple LA County Sheriff's Department deputies allegedly took and shared close-up photos at the crash site that contained images of the remains of Kobe and Gianna. Last September, Vanessa sued the county and its sheriff's office, arguing that the deputies' alleged circulation of the photos caused, quote, severe emotional distress. According to the lawsuit, one deputy even allegedly shared photos showing the remains of Kobe to the bartender at a restaurant in Norwalk, California. Legal analyst Dina Dahl previously broke down the alleged incident with Access Hollywood.
Not only do they have testimony from the bartender of what happened, but they have security footage that in fact shows him zooming in on the photo. Somebody at that bar filed a written complaint with the sheriff's department, and that's how the LA Times and Vanessa Bryant came to know that this happened.
All right. So, RIP to Kobe and Gigi once again. I did this very story once it happened. I believe, well, not once it happened, but I did do it that week of. So, RIP to Kobe and Gianna Bryant. I remember I put up a picture of, it was a drawing that people had posted from an artist. I don't even think I was doing lives then. I'm not even sure. Yeah, I wasn't doing lives then. So at the end of the video was a picture of Kobe and Gianna that an artist did. So yeah, man, that was messed up that officer did that. And with the courageousness of Miss Vanessa Bryant, she seek justice for her late husband and their daughter, which I feel as though is very is a good thing that she did that. So let's get into it. A federal judge on Wednesday made a pivotal ruling in favor of Kobe Bryant's widow, rejecting a request by Los Angeles County to throw her lawsuit out of court and instead of keeping it on track for a jury trial in February. U.S. District U.S. District Judge John F. Walter denied the county's motion for summary judgment and ruled that there are genuine issues of material facts for trial. Judge's function is not himself to weigh the evidence and determine the truth of the matter, but to determine whether there is a genuine issue for trial. Vanessa Bryant is suing the county for invasion of privacy and negligence, accusing county sheriffs and fire department employees of improperly taking and sharing photos of her dead husband and daughter after they and 7 others died in a helicopter crash in January 2020. Which I didn't think it was in January 2020. I think it was like the first day of February, I believe. But they say January, so we're going with January. The county's motion for summary judgment, her lawsuit would have been finished pending any appeal. This has always been about accountability, Bryant's attorney, Louis Lee, said in a statement Wednesday. We look forward to presenting the facts to a jury. The county says her lawsuit is without merit and recently asked the judge to dismiss it in summary judgment. Basically, what they want to do, they want to settle this shit out of court because it is a federal trial, so we will not be seeing this on television. But she does want to make sure that anyone else in the country, with any famous person or what have you, if they believe that they think that they could do this to her and get away with it, then any other police department around the country will think the same. So since the judge, so kudos to Judge Lee for ruling that we're going through with this. Like, I believe it's evidence here that we can go off on and have this trial go on. So kudos to Judge Lee for that. No, and also kudos to Vanessa for not giving up on her family as well. Let's keep going. So, I forgot where I was starting at. We look forward to presenting the facts to a jury. The county says her lawsuit. Okay, I said that already. Where am I at? Okay, it said the widow of the NBA legend never saw such photos, that the photos were deleted, and that no photos were shared outside of county personnel, except for when a sheriff's deputy showed some crash scene photos to a bartender at a restaurant 2 days after the crash. Now, let's see. Now, if the photos were taken on a, let's say, a company phone, and he possessed that phone on him 2 days later to then show the bartender, I would say he would be out of policy for doing that. If it states in their policy that they're not allowed to share any information, for the simple fact of this, I do this at my job every year. We have to go through like internet training. The training basically is this: watch out for phishing, watch out for malicious intent of trying to get information out of out of you. Basically, if you see like an email that comes up and it looks appealing to click on and it has a link in it, they always tell us never hit those links, because you never know what could be either downloaded to the computer, or you don't know what you're allowing that link to see as far as like spyware and stuff like that. You don't know what the hell you're clicking on. So the best option for you to do when it comes to stuff like that is don't click on links you've never seen before, because this is the thing. If someone wants to send you something or wants to ask of you of doing something for you on like our intranet, our company intranet, then they will send you photos or send you a procedure or send you something as far as what they need from you. They will not send you a link to a website. They'll let you know in the email, I need you to go to so-and-so and look up so-and-so in order to get this information for me that I need. You have to go through the steps of getting that information. You just can't just click a link when it comes to getting information for someone. So with that being said, if that is in their policy, if they have some sort of training to where if they are on their company cell phones, let's say like each police officer gets a cell phone for some reason, for like alerting them if they're like on call for something, or if they need them for anything or whatever, then that's what the company's phone is for. So I know as a nurse, my ex-girlfriend, well, not a nurse, she's not a nurse, she's a surgery technician. So I know as a surgery tech, she has two cell phones. She has her personal cell phone and she has her work cell phone. The work cell phone is for her to get alerts from from like, say they have like an emergency surgery that they have to do and she's on call. Well, if she's on call, she has to make sure that she's not only bathed for the day, she has to make sure that she's around her home to get her stuff at all times as well if she's on call. I know that for sure. So I'm just saying this for the simple fact that I don't know what the LA Police Department or the LAPD have within their budget of what they give their officers. So I'm just going off of if he did have his company cell phone on him and his company cell phone or his department cell phone on him and he's showing sensitive information such as those photos, then yes, he should be prosecuted. The county should be prosecuted, as well as the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department should be prosecuted, because not only did the officer break protocol as far as sharing sensitive information with civilians and people who would know that what's going on with those photos, then yes, he should be, as well as the county and the police department or sheriff's department, be put up on charges. Now, let's go forward. The judge turned down this request, citing reasons stated by Bryant's attorney in their opposition to the county's request for summary judgment. Miss Bryant has gathered ample evidence of defendants' wrongdoing and the harm it has caused her, said the document filed last month by Judge Lee. No, I'm sorry, Attorney Lee. What's the attorney? I mean, what's the judge's name? I think I called the Judge Lee. John Walter. So kudos to John Walter for trying this case, and kudos to Vanessa Bryant's attorney, Lewis Lee. So let's keep going. I just lost my damn place again. Okay, here we go. So Miss Bryant has gathered, I said that already. Okay, this close-up photo of Gianna and Kobe's remains were passed around on at least 28 LASD, which is Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, devices, and by at least a dozen firefighters. And that was only the beginning. I don't know this word. Hold on. Gratuitous. So, the gratuitous sharing continued in the following days and weeks, including such outrageous conduct as flaunting the photos in a bar while pantomiming dismemberment and showing off the photos over cocktails at an awards gallery.
It's the law. Warning.
One second.
Federal law.
I don't want this. All right. Dismemberment and showing off photos at the cocktails at an awards gala. Oh, what is wrong with these? Okay, here we go right here. This is good. Let's see. The gratuitous sharing continued in the following days and weeks, including such outrageous conduct as floating the photos in a bar while pantomiming dismemberment. And what else? Dismemberment and showing off the photos over cocktails at an awards gala. The callous and shocking behavior uncovered by Mrs. Bryant is more than enough to survive summary judgment. The county's outside counsel, Skip Miller, stated after the ruling Wednesday, "We respectfully disagree with the court's ruling," said Miller, partner at the firm Miller Barondis. The fact remains that the county did not cause Ms. Bryant's loss, and as was promised on the day of the crash, none of the county's accident site photos were ever publicly disseminated. But hold on. Although the public, we didn't see it as the public, but he was sharing them at a cocktail party as well as showing it to the bartender, to where someone had to write a fucking to where someone had to write a goddamn complaint. Now, if they don't feel as though that is enough to go off on, well, if the judge, not the judge, I'm sorry, what's this guy's name? Skip Miller doesn't believe that the judge made a good ruling to where it should be tried, because no substantial evidence shows that they showed these pictures to the public, such as TMZ didn't get them, or the Los Angeles news station didn't get them. Doesn't matter. You still shared sensitive information. These pictures are sensitive information because they go, not they go, but they are there for your investigation. How did this happen? What could have caused this? Why did this happen? The detectives have to ask themselves all of these questions for the simple fact that they are conducting an investigation of how this happened. So then they could present it to Vanessa and the family of what was the cause of the plane crash, other than it was a very foggy day. All right? Or they could have just rolled that in. Well, it was a very foggy day. Although the pilot was trained to go through weather conditions like this, I guess he didn't really understand the circumstances and the seriousness of why we grounded all helicopters and planes. And then there we go. Now, the county did its job and looks forward to showing that at trial. The judge's ruling also gives Bryant new leverage against the county if she is inclined to settle the case before trial. The county previously agreed to pay $1.25 million in settlements to two other families who lost loved ones in the same crash. They had filed similar lawsuits over the sharing of photos. One second. But Bryant has not shown the same willingness to call off her lawsuit in exchange for a payment, because it's more than just money. She wants justice. Her late husband and her late daughter were done wrong. And she wants to rewrite that wrong. She wants to be able to have that weight off of her chest, knowing that someone took advantage of her family. That is why she's going through with this. Someone took advantage of her family to where that they're showing photos off at cocktail parties. If you don't see that as wrong, then I don't know what the fuck to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. It was very disingenuous for that officer to show those photos. Because I'm pretty sure in their policy he wasn't allowed. And I'm pretty sure just policy alone, he wasn't probably allowed to show that shit. But he felt as though, well, I've been on the force for so many years, I can do whatever the hell I want. I'm the police. Nah, fuck all that. You're getting what you put out now. You wanted to call someone to be basically what's the emotion I'm looking for? Saddened by their loved ones' photos being put out like that. You have to suffer the consequences. Like, I'm sorry, you have to suffer the consequences. Now, her lawsuit seeks her lawsuit seeks compensatory and punitive damages to punish the deputy defendants and make an example of them to the community. She had gone to great lengths and expense to gather evidence in this case, including having nearly 30 electronic devices examined, taking dozens of pretrial dispositions, and serving over 100 written discovery requests to the county defendants, according to the court records. In a separate lawsuit last year, she and other families who lost loved ones in the crash reached an undisclosed settlement to end their wrongful death claims against the owner and operator of the doomed helicopter. Her lawsuit over crash scene photos now is expecting to ramp up before trial, with court battles over what evidence can be shown to the jury. The trial date is February 22nd in Los Angeles. So I'm guessing they're doing this next year, I guess. But wait, there's more. So this is what happened. So Vanessa found that Vanessa found some information out about the officer of what he did prior to the to that. I wonder why my Marcus Speaks isn't being shown up there. It says it's active, but why isn't it up? There it goes. I was sitting here wondering, like, why isn't my Marcus Speaks sitting up there? But there's more. So the officer had he's done some bullshit within his past prior before this has ever happened. The photos. Let's get into it.
A trial involving the Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy accused of taking and sharing helicopter crash scene photos of Kobe Bryant is set to begin next month. And Vanessa Bryant, the late NBA star's widow, wants the jury to know that the same deputy, Doug Johnson, was also involved in another scandal, one in which he allegedly kneeled on an inmate's neck. In response, lawyers for the county have asked a judge to block Bryant from alerting the jurors, reported TMZ. The sheriff's department unsuccessfully tried to keep the kneeling incident under wraps, but a video was leaked to Knock, LA. The county filed documents on Friday calling the separate situation entirely unrelated to the Bryant case. It's believed that alerting the jurors could significantly affect the direction of the forthcoming case. Now both the plaintiff and defendants are waiting for a judge to make a decision. The leaked video footage shows someone who appears to be Johnson escorting the inmate, a 24-year-old male, through the jail. The prisoner.
Now, I'll stop that there and I'll show you this. Here's the actual footage of him doing that. Here we go. So you see they got him down. He's leaning on him, right, on his head, which you're not supposed to do as a police officer. We saw that with Derek Chauvin. You're not supposed to do that, right? So let's play this as well.
Who's locked up for a pending murder case, swings at the officer shortly thereafter. The man presumed to be Johnson and other officers then work to detain the man before the deputy allegedly places a knee on the inmate's neck for several minutes.
See it right there?
Back in 2020 graphic photos showing...
Hold on, I'll zoom in right here. Has his knee directly on his neck. Right there. Let's keep
bodies
going.
of Kobe and his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, just hours after they were killed in a helicopter crash, were passed around by at least 28 police officers and at least a dozen firefighters in bars and at a media awards gala. Vanessa is seeking damages for invasion of privacy over the sharing of the graphic photos. The photos were taken by police officers and firefighters at the site of the helicopter crash in Calabasas, where Bryant, his daughter, and 7 others died in January 2020. In documents filed in January 2022, Vanessa's attorney Louis Lee wrote that pretrial evidence has shown that the close-up photos of Gianna and Kobe's remains were passed around on at least 28 sheriff's department devices and by at least a dozen firefighters, and shown off in bars and at an awards gala. Lee also alleged that Los Angeles County officials engaged in a cover-up, destroying the direct forensic evidence of their misconduct, and requiring extensive circumstantial evidence to establish the full extent of that misconduct. Los Angeles County has previously defended itself by saying that the photos were not posted online or seen by the public aside from in a bar 2 days after the crash. In that incident, a bartender told a patron that an officer had just shown him the photos. That patron laid a complaint with the LA County Sheriff's Office. In the documents filed, Vanessa's attorney states that a private citizen attending the 2020 Golden Mike Awards, a broadcast television awards night held less than a month after the crash, witnessed LA County Fire Department Public Information Officer Tony and Brenda talking about the photos and showing them to others. It's not clear who he showed the photos to. Vanessa previously said that the photos showing the death of her husband and daughter were out there, caused her constant fear and anxiety, and that she was having trouble sleeping and was depressed as a result. She added that she has been contacted by internet creeps telling her they'll share the gruesome photos online, although those threats have yet to come to fruition. Vanessa also said she has seen one photo of her husband's body, and that it sickens her to see Kobe Bryant body pop up as a suggested search on Google when she types her late husband's name into the search bar.
Now that is disgusting. She has to see that. What the fuck is wrong with these goddamn police officers? And if you hear, and I frequently listen to and watch Tim Pool, and I frequently watch and listen to another YouTuber by the name. His YouTube channel is Relationship Rehab as well as United Guns of America. I hear both of these people say, if you don't want to deal with having the cops do this, and that, then why resist and all this other crazy shit. It's not the fucking people who are being detained, which is the goddamn problem. As you can see, well, most of them are, but not all. Most of the time, it's a goddamn pussy ass cop who has been placed on the damn force because he got his ass whooped in school, or at first his thought was, I want to make a change in my community and in my town, or you know what I'm saying, like, or you got pussy ass cops like that. We saw Derek Chauvin for 9 minutes and 39 seconds kneel on George Floyd's neck, cutting off his carotid artery to where blood wasn't circulating, which made George Floyd die. Now, was George Floyd a good person? Maybe so. All I know is that when they did an autopsy report, they found fentanyl in his DNA results. So he was on drugs. Does that make him a bad person because he's on drugs? No. For the simple fact is this: we don't know what the fuck happened in George Floyd's life to make him get on drugs. But these two YouTubers, Tim Pool, and I still watch Tim Pool, he has good information. And I still watch Relationship Rehab. He has good information as well. But the host of the Relationship Rehab, Brian Redmond, he always says how he was a cop for 2 years and how certain protocols, stuff like that, should happen, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. When it came to the George Floyd thing, he said that was fucked up. Okay, cool. But he still, to this day, makes fun of George Floyd and the shit that he was doing while he was being detained and arrested. As well as Tim Pool always, when it comes to what the Black Lives Matter protesters were protesting on, he always goes with that George Floyd was high on drugs and that he's a bad person and all this other bullshit that he says. He talks about Ahmaud Arbery was a criminal because he did steal tools from the house that was being remodeled and stuff like that. And it's like, why don't you have a certain sense of remorse for dead people? Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Doesn't matter what the fuck happened before. They're dead now due to the negligence of not only Derek Chauvin but the McMichaels as well with Ahmaud Arbery, because they thought that he was stealing shit. And there were security cameras in the very spot of where he would go each fucking time. Security cameras was all throughout the goddamn house being renovated. And they said tools were stolen. Well, did they gather that information on those tools? I mean, the evidence on those tools? did they get those tools back? Because from far as what I understand is this. Ahmaud Arbery was followed by 3 people, 1 recording, 2 provoking him from the bed of the truck and in the driver's seat of the truck, which made him go to fight or flight, to where he got shot in his chest by a shotgun, which caused him his untimely death. Let's get to George Floyd. From what we know, from what I presented to y'all, George Floyd and Derek Chauvin knew each other. Derek Chauvin did security outside of a nightclub. George Floyd did security on the inside of a nightclub in what's the place called? Minneapolis, right? They knew each other because that wasn't their first time ever being to where Derek had to arrest him. So, with that being said, Derek Chauvin then, because which could have been handled like this. There was a counterfeit 20. He paid for his not Derek Chauvin, but George Floyd paid for his items with a counterfeit 20. The money, which was that George Floyd used for that, the clerk could have been like, look, and I went on a rampage about that clerk that took that 20. If you would have did the proper protocol of what your boss asked you to do when accepting big bills, such as a 20 or a 50 or 100, everywhere where I go, when I'm giving a 20, they take the marker and they slide it across the bill to see if it's real. Usually, if it is real, the ink turns brown. If it's fake, the ink stays black. So, if the clerk would have just did that, there would have been no George Floyd dying that day, of which I blamed not George Floyd, but that clerk who lived right on in the apartment buildings or apartment building. Well, I shouldn't say that. He lived in an apartment above the Cup Foods convenience store. The clerk did. He lived right upstairs. If he could have just did what he was supposed to do, all of this would have been avoided. He wouldn't have had his boss tell him, how did you accept a fake 20 without checking it? Of which the clerk blames himself to this day. I seen it in a 60 Minutes episode that they did on that. He blamed himself for that happening. So if he blamed himself for that happening, and then he got a man killed, why are we not only upset with with Derek Chauvin? Why aren't we upset, and why weren't you guys protesting about that goddamn clerk as well? This shit is fucking egregious when it comes to certain things that people say about law enforcement. Some people hold law enforcement to the highest regard, when sometimes law enforcement, not all but some, are fucking scum. They're fucking scumbags. This shit is fucking ridiculous. This cop shared numerous other cops shared photos of two dead people. Why would you do that? Why would you then go to a party and say, "Hey, look, I got those Kobe pictures from the crash. You see, that's him right there, and he's holding, I believe it's his daughter." Isn't that crazy? No, it's fucking ridiculous. Why are you showing me this? It's fucking ridiculous, man.
6 of the couple's family friends and the chopper pilot also died in the smash. She was forced to detail. Bryant details how she asked Sheriff Alex Villanueva on the day of the crash, January 26, 2020, to secure the crash site and not allow anyone to take photographs after learning there were no survivors. But just 1 month later, she learned sheriff's deputies and firefighters were indeed passing around photos that had been taken of Kobe and Gianna's remains.
Now, I commend a strong woman for staying with her husband through tough times. That whole little spat that Kobe had back in 2004, she stayed with him because she knew that they could work that out. And you saw what happened. They had a beautiful family. They had like a 9, if not 11-month-old daughter. They had 3 other beautiful daughters that they were raising. This is what happens, people, when there's a good relationship amongst yourself and someone else. This is what happens. You have a beautiful family, which leads you to a beautiful life. Unlike the couple that I showed you earlier, they got fucking problems. But this woman, despite her husband and her child being deceased, is still fighting for her family to this day. And that's fucking beautiful to me. My heart goes out to Vanessa Bryant. Vanessa Bryant, if you ever come across this video, and you're listening to this point right here, please send me a comment just saying anything, all right? Just saying anything. Because I love to see a woman, if not a man, fight for their family. And I commend you on that, all right? Not a lot of people would give people praise for this, but you're doing the Lord's work right now. You're still fighting for your family, and they're gone. I commend you for that. All right. Now, let's get into this article. So, lawyers representing Los Angeles County want to exclude a video of a deputy kneeling on the head of a handcuffed inmate in March 2021 from an ongoing legal fight with Vanessa Bryant, according to the new filings obtained by Insider. Now, this is what I would say. It shouldn't be rolled out because that shows that this officer and other officers are unruly. They basically think that they can get away with this shit. And Vanessa is not going to stop and allow them to get away with this shit. They wanted to push her to the side and be like, you know what? How much money we got in the budget to give this lady to stop this? Because we don't have time to be going through court proceedings about this dumb shit. How about we give her? Do we have enough in the budget for $3 million to give her? She won't accept $3 million. Okay, let's bump it to 4. Let's see if she'll take 4. She's not going to take 4. How about 5? She's not going to take 5. So we have to go to court now for this? Yes, you do. You have to go to court for this. Because you were negligent and you invaded the privacy of somebody's loved ones. even though that they were deceased. You invaded the privacy of that. She has to go up on Google search and see this shit? Are you kidding me? No, go to court and see what happens. That same deputy is accused in a lawsuit of taking photos of the grisly crash scene that killed late Lakers star Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna Bryant. In September 2020, Vanessa sued the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, the county's fire department, the county, and 8 officers in the wake of reports that first responders took and shared photos of the January 2020 crash site. Bryant accused the first responders of negligence and intentionally infliction of emotional distress and invasion of her right to privacy. She is suing for unclosed damages. One of the deputy mentioned in Bryant's lawsuit, LA County Sheriff's Department Douglas Johnson, was the subject of the latest filing by Bryant and the county's legal teams on Saturday. In late March, Los Angeles Times reporter Eileen, I'm not even gonna attempt to say her last name. Tidichamayan, I guess is how you say it, but I'm not gonna say that. She was just gonna say Eileen. All right. So the LA Times reporter Eileen reported citing internal records about an alleged attempt to cover up a video in which Johnson was seen kneeling on an inmate's head for 3 minutes after he punched the deputy in the face. The incident occurred in March 2021, and Sheriff Alex Villanueva, who is currently seeking re-election for a second term, mentioned that he was unaware of it until last October. The department did not pursue charges against the inmate Enzo Escalante, given its nature and its similarities to widely publicized George Floyd use of force. This is before me reading this, people. I brought up George Floyd even before I read this. So they hit it for the simple fact that they didn't want an uproar in LA. Because we all know what happens when there's an uproar in Los Angeles. We all know what happens. Now, and hold on. Before I continue, we all know what happens in LA even when a civilian gets done wrong, let alone the city's basketball hero. Not only that, the world's basketball hero. What would have happened if they shared this last year? Who knows? And I would say I am lucky that they did not share this information, because the whole fucking world would have went in an uproar. Now, let's keep going. Let's see where I'm at. Commander Alan Castellano, said in a memo obtained by the LA Times, Los Angeles Sheriff's Department did not immediately respond to insiders' requests for information. Lawyers for the county said the inclusion of the video would be improper, in a motion seeking to exclude the content. The only reason plaintiff would seek to elicit testimony about Deputy Johnson's altercation with the inmate in Los Angeles Sheriff's Department's response is to impugn Deputy Johnson and Sheriff Villanueva's character, the county stated. Skip Miller, a partner at the Miller and Barondess law firm and outside counsel for LA County, said the jail incident was irrelevant to Bryant's photo lawsuit. Actually, to be honest, it's not irrelevant because it shows the erratic behavior of which he does. He took an unruly picture, and then he unrolled. I'm gonna say he unruly sat on his neck. He took an unruly picture, and then after seeing that not only was that hold illegal by a police officer to perform, but he also knew what happened to someone that same nail happened to. So how is it irrelevant to the lawsuit? It's very relevant because you have an officer who cannot remember certain procedures and protocols when he is, one, dealing with a detained suspect, and two, dealing with an incarcerated inmate. Although the inmate did punch him in his face, which, I would be on his side to where it's cool if he would have whooped that inmate's ass. All right, I'll say that right now. You ain't gonna just punch me knowing that you're not supposed to touch me. Number one, because those are the rules. Number one. Number two, you gonna catch these hands either or. But to lean on this man's neck, are you fucking crazy? Are you fucking crazy? Now, the motion was filed. Hold on. The motion we filed will prevent the plaintiff from is this prejudice? I said, is it prejudice? As soon as y'all hear this word, y'all gonna look at crazy. Where is it? I'm like, yo, Marcus is retarded. Okay, prejudicing. So I was right in a way. Prejudicing the jury by introducing unproven allegations against a witness that have nothing to do with the case. Miller told Insider in a statement. Bryant's counsel said in filings that the county shouldn't be able to file an extra late motion precluding the evidence, partially because of how long it has been known about internally. Defendants have been on notice of the incident that they seek to include from evidence for over a year. Bryant's lawyers filed back in filing late last week. One of the key pieces of evidence that motion in here's another word. Did I spell that right on my first try? I did. Okay, let's see what this is. Lemonade. That motion in Lemonade number 6 seeks to exclude is that a senior Los Angeles Sheriff's Department official, Commander Alan Castellano, contends that Sheriff Villanueva covered up video of the kneeling incident and tried unsuccessfully to prevent its public disclosure. Bryant's lawsuit against the county is set to go to trial on January 26th, with a pretrial hearing set for July 8th. If I say January, I meant July 26th. If I didn't say July, so July 26th and the pretrial is July 8th. So here we go. Let's keep going. We look forward to responding in court. Bryant's attorney, Louis Lee, said in a statement to USA Today, lawyers for Bryant did not immediately respond to insiders' request for comment. So that's what's going on with the Bryant family, and I hope Vanessa gets the proper justice that she deserves. So yeah. So let me bring up Miss Vanessa once more. Vanessa, if you hear this and if you see this, I commend what you're doing right now, because not only are you going to be a hero to many, but you are. I'm gonna hit you with a Batman line. And I'm gonna do it like this. You're not the You're not the hero that the people deserve. You are the hero that your family needs. If I did that good, that was good enough, then I commend you for this. All right, so moving on, people. The old boy Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby's in court once again. He just basically, no, he just finished court. Sorry. For this reason, and this reason alone, let's go.
Bill Cosby sexually assaulted a 16-year-old girl at the Playboy Mansion in 1975. That's the verdict that was just announced from jurors in a civil trial in California. They found Cosby intentionally caused harmful sexual contact with Judy Huth. Jurors determined Cosby knew she was a minor at the time, but still pursued her. The jury awarded Huth $500,000. Cosby attorney and publicist continued to deny the accusation. The verdict comes nearly a year after authorities released Bill Cosby from prison after the Pennsylvania Supreme Court threw out a separate criminal conviction for sexual assault.
He's still bringing up these old bitches. This shit is getting ridiculous. Listen to all the old bitches who knew this man was married and still proceeded to pursue him. To all of you, I say this: your pussy wasn't shit then, and it's not shit now. So this is the reason why you feel as though that you need to go to court for something that happened to you back in 1975. My mother was 16 in 1975. And my mother would have known to not to deal with a married man. What is with all these white women and all these black women who are in Hollywood? That, matter of fact, hold up. They said that he met her at the Playboy Mansion. What the fuck is a 16-year-old doing at the Playboy Mansion? I need answers. Now, her lawyer was Gloria Allred. I should have put a picture up of Gloria Allred. I'll have that picture in just a moment, y'all. Her lawyer was Gloria Allred. We all know who Gloria Allred is. Gloria Allred represented the women in the R. Kelly trial. or let me not say represented. Gloria Allred was the woman that helped these women come up with a good alibi, I should say, of why that they feel that they should seek the damages of what they seek from. Hold up, is this picture still up? Hold up, yo. This funky bitch. And I hope Gloria is watching because you are a funky bitch. So you are the funkiest of all funky bitches. You are the queen of funky bitches. Now, here we go. Right here. Gloria Allred, right here. This funky bitch. She was the lawyer of the woman that they got $50,000. Do you know how much Bill Cosby is worth? Now, hold up. Bill Cosby's worth. His net worth. Right now. Bill Cosby's worth $400 million, people. $400 million. They got him for $50,000. That's $50 to Bill. That's $50 to Bill. He told that bitch just like Diddy, take that. He told that bitch just like Diddy, take that. Because Bill is tired, y'all. He did all he could while in entertainment. He's just trying to sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of his life. He was placed in jail for 2 years? He was put in jail for 2 years for some shit that the woman actually wanted. That model chick, she asked him for drugs. There's no ifs, ands, buts about this. She asked him for those drugs, in which I described that she said at a what's that lake? I forgot what that lake's called, but it's like a famous lake that you can like go on like a cabin trip to. But anyway, she met him at his hotel, knocked on his door. He wasn't trying to see her. So she went back to her room and took 2 Quaaludes and drunk wine. And then said he raped me. Just like a lot of these bitches. Look. I'm pretty sure that chick, when she is 60... How old's my mom? Shorty's 64 right now. She was 16 back in 1975. Which means this. And we all know them fast bitches that be at school who dates the local drug dealer who is 25 years old. You see him pick her up from school and drop her off at school and all this other shit. We know these bitches. That bitch was one of them bitches. Now, a lot of y'all are saying, Marcus, how are you saying this if she was sexually assaulted by Bill Cosby? We don't know this. Just like all them other females. I played you guys the audio from his representative that talks for the family for Bill and Camille. He said that when he went to when they were in Philly for the trial, he saw Gloria Allred parading the women around and taking them shopping and stuff like that. And these bitches was all laughs and smiles. But we're supposed to give a fuck about these women and they're doing shit like that. And we're also supposed to give a fuck about them because many fucking moons ago, they got drunk, if not high, and commenced into consensual sex with somebody. Now, some people will say, "Well, Marcus, that was statutory rape." Yes, it was. But I can bet you money. We can put money up right now. Starting bid is at $100. I can bet y'all $100 that white bitch wanted Bill Cosby to fuck her. I can bet you money. And I can also bet you $100 that the girl, well, the woman now, girl at the time, I can also bet you $100 that woman not only wanted Bill Cosby, but also probably wanted something from Bill Cosby, such as maybe helping her in her acting career, just like most other bitches wanted them to do. Help them in their acting career. Now, I'm not a judge, so I can't really rule what is what, but I can bet my bottom dollar that these funky bitches wanted the shit, then felt guilty about the shit later on in life, never really had an avenue until the Me Too shit when KRS-Two came out and said she was sexually assaulted, which I don't know who was sexually assaulted her, but because she got all kinds of craters in her face and shit, so I don't understand how the fuck somebody tried to do anything with her, but that's besides the fact. This is what I'm trying to say here. What I'm trying to say here is this. Why are we trying this shit after several decades later? It's been, 40 years since that happened? Let's see, 1980, 1990, 2000, 2010, 2020. So it's been 42 years since that shit has happened. Hold on. Let's just go by. It's probably less time than that. 85, 95, 2005, 2015, 2020 would make it 45. So 47 years ago, almost 50 years ago, that happened to her. Probably 46 years, 46, 47 years ago. That happened to her, and she's just now coming out about it. Gloria, where are you finding all these bitches at? Like, of what you guys don't know, there was a billboard posted by Miss Allred saying, if you've ever been sexually assaulted by Bill Cosby, please come forward. Most of the females that she represented never met Bill Cosby. Ever. But somehow she keeps getting away with this shit. What is your obsession with Bill Cosby? What the fuck is your obsession with him? Did you try to fuck him, but he didn't want to fuck you? So now you're on a personal vendetta stage now, to where you just want this man locked up, and you thought that everything was all good and that he was in jail when he was convicted. Then, since something was shown that his conviction was a wrongdoing, and they overturned the shit, and now you're after blood now because the monster of what you see is out of jail now, and he must be stopped because he will be he'll do that again. Let's get to the female that got him convicted. That the tall chick. If you knew the first time he went into your blouse, why would you then continue to go over his house to talk to him? Because that only lets me believe that anything that happened between y'all, that was your fantasy and you wanted that to happen to you. That's just me. That's just me. You allowed that to happen to you. It didn't just happen. You allowed it to happen. You're feeling some type of way about it. You're feeling funny about it. So now you want revenge. So you take him to court. I don't think that adds up. I don't think that adds up at all. Let's get into this article. Jurors ruled in favor of Judy Huff in her sexual abuse case against Bill Cosby, The Guardian reports. According to Vulture, the now 64-year-old accused Cosby of sexual assaulting her in 1975 when she was 16 years old. Huff was awarded $500,000. Okay, I said $50,000, so it was $500,000. But he still coughs at $500,000. $500,000 is probably just $500 to Bill Cosby in damages, as the jury, which was made up of 8 women and 4 men, found that Cosby intentionally caused harmful sexual contact with the 64-year-old woman when she was a teenager, The Guardian reports. They determined that the former esteemed comedian reasonably believed that she was underage, and his conduct was inspired by an unnatural and abnormal sexual interest in a minor. Hold on, I'm not letting that shit slide. Like I said, it was believed that he met her at the Playboy Mansion. Now, just like with a lot of women, because women are sociopaths, you heard Jenna Jameson say she became a stripper at the age of 16. If you guys have never heard Jenna Jameson say this, go look up Jenna Jameson said she became a stripper at 16. You'll see an interview of her. I forgot what it was on. I believe it was maybe HBO. You will see her say, yes, I was a stripper at 16 years old, because she faked her age. She said that she was 18 years old knowing she was 16. Could have the same thing happened with this woman. She could have said, yes, I'm 18, which now makes Dr. Cosby feel comfortable back in 1974 and say, okay, cool. Here's a Quaalude. You're going to feel your body relax in a minute, then I'm going to get to work. Let's just put certain things out there. There are sexual deviants out here. Yes, there is. There are men and women, because we don't want to exclude women from this. There are men and women who do wrongful sexual acts to minors. We know this. But you gotta remember the position of Dr. Cosby. He was famous. He was famous since what, the early 60s, maybe late 50s, early 60s. He's been famous. He's been a famed comedian, TV and movie star since I've been on this earth. In 1975, Bill Cosby probably was the biggest fucking thing in not only black comedy, but in mainstream comedy itself. Not only that, this fool was in movies with Sidney Poitier. He did Fat Albert. He had the Cosby, the Cosby Show, where he played a high school PE teacher. No, it was called the Bill Cosby Show. I'm sorry. It was called the Bill Cosby Show. He was also on, I forgot what show it was, but he was on somebody's show where he acted on. He not co-hosted, but he was a substitute host when what is that? What's that white man's name that did the Tonight Show back then? Whatever that white man's name is, he would fill in for him when he would be out. Bill Cosby was fucking huge, pause, in 1975. And pause on the big shit that the big word I was saying too. He was the biggest, pause, comedian in 1975. So I'm pretty sure this woman looking at her television screen, admiring this man. I don't know what she thought about him. I don't go through those types of thoughts. At the time, she probably admired him a lot and said, I would love to meet this man one day. And she probably had that fantasy in her head too. If I ever get to meet him, I will fuck him. Pause. That's 16 years old. I used to hear that shit all the time in school with girls. The Game, Nelly, 50 Cent, who else? One girl used to say Terrence Howard. That shit used to be hilarious. You name the famous motherfucker who was in their 20s, 30s, 40s. I'll fuck the shit out of him. The shit don't stop. It's not like this shit just started. Women just started doing that shit just now. Women been doing this shit for decades. Hell, if you don't know, and it's public knowledge, Priscilla Presley was 14 when she met Elvis. And I believe they got married when she was, 15, 16 maybe? Or maybe married at 14. But she was 14 when, I believe she was 14 when they got married. So, this shit, look, what evidence should I have to bring up for young women wanting to sleep with older, famous men? Y'all can believe whatever you want to believe when it comes to Bill Cosby. But I know one thing of which he probably is. A famous black man that wants to get fucked by women. And girls alike. Sorry. Because we all see this shit growing up, going to school. High school, to be more, We saw this shit all the time. We saw the 21-year-old grab his 14-year-old girlfriend from school and play and she would get in his car. We seen this shit. How are we not going to roll? How are we rolling that out? Like girls weren't dating older dudes. Like, get out of here, yo. Like, I'm not fucking doing this with y'all. She wanted Bill Cosby's penis, pause, in and around her. She wanted it. Case closed. Let's see. After learning of the ruling, Andrew Wyatt, the spokesperson for the 84-year-old, told TMZ that Cosby replied, "What? That's all?" and booyah. Cosby also spoke with two of the jurors who sided with him, thanking them. Hoff first filed a lawsuit against Cosby in 2014. She said she met Cosby in a park on the set of the movie Let's wait till y'all hear the title of the movie. Hold on. Oh, let me read it over. Okay. She said that she met Cosby in a park on the set of the movie Let's Do It Again in San Bernardino, California. Holy shit. She said he invited her and a friend to a tennis club and then to a private home. There, she said they played games before going to Playboy Mansion in Los Angeles, where she said she was sexually assaulted. The 64-year-old said that Cosby told her and her friend to say they were 19 if asked at the mansion. Holt got emotional during her testimony, telling the jury that she once admired Cosby. Did I not say that she admired him? Did I not just say that? This shit is amazing. Let's keep going. And did as did her father, who would listen to his comedy albums. I felt duped, fooled. Hoff said, according to the New York Times. I was let down. I was hurt. Cosby denied the allegations. He was not present. He wasn't present in court and said in a video disposition shown to jurors that he did not remember Hoff. The jury's decision comes almost a year after the former entertainer was freed from prison in Pennsylvania after his conviction of drugging and sexually assaulting another woman was overturned on the legal technicality. On a legal technicality. Cosby's attorney, Jennifer Bonjing, determined the case as trial by ambush, according to The Guardian, noting that when Hoff sought legal action, she said the incident occurred in 1974, not 1975. Wyatt said the former actor's team is planning on appealing the jury's decision. But why? Why would you appeal it? Why? What the hell are you doing? He paid the 50. He's happy with. I keep saying 50. He paid 500. He doesn't care about the 500,000. Let him just pay the 500,000. Why are we appealing this shit? Now, why I said for former actors team is planning on appealing the jury's decision. He also described the trial's outcome as a win for the actor. Allred thanked the jury for its time and verdict and praised Hall for her courage and many sacrifices to win justice in this case, The Guardian reports. We are honored to represent her, Allred said of Hall. I want to thank all of the women who spoke out over the years and refused to be silent in the face of what they believe to be injustice and sexual abuse by powerful men. We are proud of Ms. Hoff and our victory against Bill Cosby. RAIN, an anti-sexual violence organization, also praised the jury for ruling in favor of Hoff. Aaron Robinson spoke on behalf of the nonprofit. Once again, a jury has found that Bill Cosby committed sexual assault, Robinson said, according to The Guardian. Ms. Hoff's courageous testimony helped the jury reach this decision, and we commend her for her bravery. Today's verdict shows survivors that perpetuators, even powerful ones, can be held accountable. I don't know why they put that word there because that word makes no sense there. But anyway, let's keep going. Cosby will not face jail time for the ruling. It's strange to consider a verdict that confirms Cosby's sexual assaulted a minor as any sort of victory. However, the part they seem to celebrate concerns the punitive damages, which if awarded would have deemed Cosby acted with malice, oppression, or fraud. I don't know how, but anyway. Meaning he would have to pay a lot more money despite the victory. Cosby's lawyer, Jennifer Bonjean, plans on appealing the verdict, stating Hoff will never receive a payday. You go, girl. Within a few weeks, attorney Jennifer Bonjean will be in Judge Craig D. Carlin's court to appeal the $500,000 verdict. $500,000 verdict. Which means that Miss Hoff will never receive a payday from Mr. Cosby, and her estimated mounting legal bills $3 million plus with Allred. Which means she would have to hold on. Allred, Morocco, and Goldberg will be outstanding for many years to come, the statement says, because you're goddamn right. If you don't get a penny from Bill Cosby, then they can divvy it up and then give you what you need, which also means, well, she will get that $500,000 because out of the $3 million, they split whatever they get. Then they give her $500,000, and then everybody's cool. But if not, she owes them the money that she has to give them. So go through with the appeal. I know I said fuck the appeal. Go through with the appeal. Fuck her getting money. That's all I have to say about that. Fuck her getting money, because it's a possibility this bitch lied. That's all I got to say. Where we at? If the jurors had awarded punitive damages to Judy Hoff, it would have been in the range of $10 million plus, which would have been a devastating loss to our legal efforts in the Cosby family. Hoff's representation, the attorney and women's rights activist Gloria Allred, pushes back against Cosby's statements, saying he should be held and was held accountable for what he did to her. Mr. Cosby's spokesperson, appears to be trying to snatch victory from the jaws of Mr. Cosby's significant defeat. Allred tells Variety. Now, what's Wyatt's first name? What's Wyatt's first name? Wyatt. What is Wyatt's first name? Andrew. So, Andrew was on another YouTuber show, Dana with the Data. And he said on there, because this was around the time when this was, I guess, the case first started. He said that Gloria Allred was trying to get him kicked out of the courtroom because she said that he signaled in some sort of way that she deemed wrong and wanted him kicked out of the courtroom. He said he didn't do shit. He just sat there and just quietly whispered what you can do in court. Quietly whispered over to, I believe, Bill Cosby's lawyer that she's lying. And then that's when Gloria Allred stood up and said, I object, or whatever, or please have this man thrown out of the courtroom. And the judge was like, on what ruling? Like, I don't understand. And then she gave her reasoning, and he was like, well, that's weird because I did none of what she said I just did. So that's weird. So with that being said, Gloria Allred has something out for Bill Cosby for some reason. And who knows what it is. Now, also representative attorney, blah, blah, Already tells right. Okay, so Ms. Hoff has no legal bills for fees with my law firm. The $3 million legal bills that Mr. Wyatt cited appear to be a figment of his imagination. And the alternative, it may be that the $3 million amount is what Mr. Cosby had to spend to hire countless lawyers over the years in his unsuccessful efforts to defend himself from Ms. Hoff's lawsuit. Additionally, in his statement, Cosby claimed to have spoken with two jurors following the verdict who told him, "You didn't deserve to be in this court," according to Variety. Both of these jurors voted overwhelmingly in his favor on all questions, and did not agree with the majority of the jury on questions regarding Cosby's conduct to be harmful or sexually offensive. Mr. Cosby, along with his team, has always remained steadfast in his innocence, and we never played in the sewer nor gutter. But most importantly, we stayed on the mountaintop of ethics, integrity, truth, and facts. Cosby spokesperson says. The Cosbys are thankful to those particular jurors who removed their bias and ruled on the evidence and facts of this case. That's what Andrew Wyatt, the spokesperson for the Cosby family, had to say when, going about all this. And to be honest, yes, go through with the appeal. Make sure she don't get a red cent of Bill Cosby's money, because we all know she's lying. Bill Cosby even said, I don't remember her. Now, some people will say, well, the reason why he doesn't remember her is because he was high as well. Get the fuck out of here, number one. Number two, this. Get over yourself, all right? Just fucking get over yourself. All right, y'all. On to the next. Moving forward. So, this probably seems like a weird picture to bring up. But I tell you, it's not. This very picture has to do with what's going on in the world as we speak. And it came in a way like this. I'll show you in just a minute. It says 3,000 cows died over the weekend in southwest Kansas because of a heat wave. Now, this video is going to show all these cows just laying on the ground, dead. Look. Oh, shit. I gotta turn the sound off, because although it's a cover of the actual song, I cannot play that song. So, let's see. So wait a minute. So once again, it says 3,000 cows died over in southwest Kansas. The ranchers have no idea why. Come on. Some thought the heat, but it wasn't overly hot. Bovine respiratory disease. Bovine respiratory disease is another theory. Nobody knows. Now those are forklifts picking each cow. An autopsy is pending. So it's a forklift out there, basically picking them up, putting them all together so they can round them up, I guess, in trucks or whatever, to take them wherever the fuck they gotta take them at to get rid of the bodies. If y'all don't know why this is, let's read. Shocking footage of thousands of dead cows has emerged on TikTok during an intense Kansas heat wave. The TikTok video posted by Barbie Doll Henderson, 1973, shows thousands of cattle lying dead across a ranch. Newsweek could not verify that the deaths were related to the heat wave or where and when the video was taken, but extreme temperatures have been seen across the southwest of the state in recent days. According to the video, of which a caption read, 3,000 cows died over the weekend in southwest Kansas. The rancher had no idea why so many cattle had died. On June 13th, temperatures reached 108 Fahrenheit in southwest Kansas. President of World Weather Inc., Drew Lerner, told Reuters, The heat has been so extreme in parts of the state that many areas were under a heat advisory in recent days. This coming weekend may see temperatures nearing 110 degrees, and this could continue to have severe efforts on the state's cattle. Matthew Laura, a spokesperson Kansas Department of Health and Environment, told Reuters that at least 2,000 cattle have died due to high temperatures and humidity as of June 14th. Was directing state agencies to help Kansas cattle feeders who lost cattle due to heat stress. The 2,000 figure comes from facilities that are helping ranchers dispose of the dead bodies. Cattle struggled to accumulate. Hold on. They're saying. I said accumulate, and that was wrong. Acclimate is what I actually meant, but they're saying accumulatize. I don't know what the fuck that word is. It's acclimate. Acclimate. Okay? Okay. To the sudden change in temperatures, Scarlett Hagens, spokesperson for Kansas Livestock Association, told Reuters. This was because cooling winds suddenly disappeared, replaced with the humidity and heat. Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all have a barn that y'all put these cattle in, I'm pretty sure. And if that barn doesn't have some sort of fan or cooling system in it that the cows could go in to cool off in, I don't know what the fuck to say, man. Now, where am I at? This was because cooling winds suddenly disappeared. Okay, I said that. It's going to be oppressively hot and stressful for the animals, Lerner told Reuters. Mass deaths such as this are a blow to the state's cattle industry, which is one of the biggest in the U.S. After those in Texas and Nebraska, according to Reuters, there has been added pressure on the industry recently following rising feed costs triggered by supply chain issues amid, I don't know why they always put this in there. Russia's Ukraine invasion. There are an estimated 6.35 million cattle in Texas. The state also has a large influence in the cattle processing sector, according to the Kansas Department of Agriculture. There are an estimated 6.35 million cattle in Kansas. Why the hell did they just repeat that? The state also has a large influence in the cattle processing sector, according to the Department of Agriculture. I don't know why they put that twice. The TikTok video theorized that bovine respiratory disease, a condition that affects the lungs or upper respiratory tract, may also have caused the deaths, but this has not been confirmed. Toward the end, the footage also said that an autopsy of the animals was pending. Certain types of cattle are at a higher risk of dying from heat. Those who have a previous history of respiratory disease tend to be more vulnerable to heat. Younger animals and darker colored animals also suffer more adverse effects. What you can see, all of those cows were all like a deep dark brown. Oh shit. Yeah, you can see that all of those cows was a deep dark brown. Okay, here we go. Cattle living in extreme heat need a huge daily water supply. Brenda, I'm gonna try Massick, Brenda Massick, president of the Industry Association Nebraska Cattlemen, told Reuters that ranchers must be out every day, making sure that their water is maintained. In a statement sent to Newsweek on Friday, Scarlett Hagens of the Kansas City Livestock Association said, "We don't expect additional losses in the coming days as cattle have had more time to acclimate." The remarks by Hagen come just a few days after viral videos showed thousands of dead cattle on the ground across different farms in the state. Officials previously said that high heat and humidity led to the deaths. From expediting burial permits to reaching out to cattle producers across the state, my administration is working to ease the impact of last week's losses on Kansas's agricultural community. The governor added in the statement sent to Newsweek on Friday. Hagens made similar remarks, saying the recent incident was due to an unusual weather event where areas of southwest Kansas saw a 10 to 14 degree increase in temperature and increased in humidity almost overnight. From Friday, 6 out of 10, to Saturday, 6 out of 11, with little winds and lows only falling to around 70 degrees throughout the nighttime hours, which is pretty cool if you look at it. With humidity, if you have humidity, it could feel like maybe like 84, maybe. But if it's 70 with no humidity, that's cool enough. So Hagens continued, if cattle are unable to cool down overnight due to temperatures remaining high, they cannot compensate for this type of weather, which was the case here and led to heat stress issues for cattle in the region. This is not normal for this area, which typically sees low humidity and plenty of wind. Her statement also noted that during the time of year in Kansas, heat stress is a concern for cattle producers, and efforts are taken to limit these types of incidents, according to Hagens, making sure extra water is available, altering feeding schedules and rations if needed, and avoiding moving cattle during the heat of the day is essential for keeping cattle alive during this time of year. The National Weather Service's state on Friday forecast high temperatures to continue throughout the weekend. Sunny and hot temperatures can be expected through this coming weekend with no rain expected. Use caution when outside and be aware of heat stress symptoms. The National Weather Service in Wichita, Kansas, said on Twitter. Yeah, but there's also another thing that could have happened as well.
Yeah, it is a little.
Hold on.
This is why I don't believe 10,000 cows died overnight, because
Yeah, it is a little sus.
one, if the heat wave killed all these cows, shouldn't it kill the chickens, the horses, the pigs, the geese and everything else that was around them. Like, why was the cows the only one that died?
Not only that, shouldn't it had killed the local wildlife as well? Not just the cows, but the deer and I don't know what kinds of animals up in Kansas, what Kansas has, but let's just say deer, squirrels, birds, or whatever, what have you. Should it have affected them too? Because they were in what, like 100 and some odd, weekend days, 100 and whatever degree days during the weekend that was it last week? Then why didn't it kill other wildlife as well? Why didn't Reuters, the fact checkers, go to a local wildlife conservation or the wild, what do they call it? Because we have them around here. They're like police for like the forests and shit, like the nature police, I believe is what they're called. Why didn't Reuters go to nature police and ask them, have they seen any deaths in any of the local wildlife? Why didn't Reuters ask that? Y'all are fact checkers, right? So y'all should have had fact checked more. That's why I always say, who's fact checking the fact checkers? Let's keep going.
Right. And not all the other animals.
Huh.
2, how many years has it been the same temperature in that area and no cows ever died?
Right. Check this out. There's several cattle farms in my town. I don't believe they have cattle for like slaughter and stuff like that. I think they just raise cattle. But if they do, then I'm wrong, and they do have them for slaughter. But let's just say 50-50 either or, they do or they don't. Let's just say that. As well as this, most of the time you have horses on these farms as well. That's for, if you're a farmer, where there are cattle farmers, so I'm pretty sure they're not farming any, vegetables and stuff. Well, let's just say that they are. Usually horses are on these farms, as well as ducks, as well as other farm animals that you see, such as pigs and shit like that. Why haven't we gotten a report on pigs? Have pigs died through the heat? Because one thing pigs do when it's hot outside, they roll around in their mud pits because they can't naturally regulate their own body temperature, so they coat themselves in mud in order for them to cool down, because the mud and water cools because it's dirt, so it cools itself from the hot sun. I know that just by reading shit, being a kid, and watching this dude named Paul Cafaro, because he has pigs and stuff on his farm on YouTube. But yeah, why didn't any of the other animals die? Let's keep going.
Hell, any animals, period.
Another good question.
3, Joe Biden said a food shortage was going to happen, and right when he said that, things started happening. It was a pork shortage. Chickens started catching bird flu. Oh, and turkeys, my bad. Food plants burnt and shut down.
I'm going to get into that in just a minute with the birds. Now, with what he just said about food processing plants, 750 of them have burnt down. But why? Hold on, I might have gotten the number wrong. Hold on, what did he say? 700 or 75? I could be wrong.
Bad. Food plants burnt and shut down.
Okay, so I believe. Okay, the 750 is a big number, so it's probably not 750, but 75. Let's say 75. 75 food processing plants have been burnt down. Most of them, such as, like I said, with the baby formula shortage, that processing plant was shut down for several months without the public knowing. We didn't know that they had shut down until there was a baby formula shortage. And I make sure I brought y'all that information as well. Now, from what I'm doing right now is rather dangerous because back in the day, Oprah talked about this very same thing about like cruelty and the processing of meats and shit, like meat processing plants. She got in trouble back then. So I could very well be in trouble with my goddamn self talking about this because the beef industry went directly for Oprah's neck and she stopped talking about that shit altogether. Thing is, I don't know if they settled at a court or if she just stopped talking about it or if she got threatened, but what have you, I will talk about this. So, let's keep going.
And now 10,000 cows die. Now let this sink in. Joe Biden said a food shortage is going to happen. And every animal we eat on a large scale has been getting sick or just dying out of nowhere.
Interesting.
That's a conspiracy, right?
Probably.
Now, conspiracy, right? I think not. This is why. Because bird flu is killing millions of chickens and turkeys across the U.S. An outbreak of highly pathogenic avian influenza in chicken and turkey flocks has spread across 24 U.S. states since it was first detected in Indiana on February 8th, 2022. We are now in June. It is June 25th? June 25th. Better known as bird flu, avian influenza is a family of highly contagious viruses that are not harmful to wild birds that transmit it but are deadly to domesticated birds. As of early April, the outbreak has caused the culling of some 23 million birds from Maine to Wyoming. Now, this is what culling means. Let's look up culling. Culling, and I'll show this on the screen. Culling. Reduction of a wild animal population by selective slaughter. Kangaroo culling. The action of sending inferior or surplus farm animals to be slaughtered. Local areas affected by livestock cullings. Basically, this is what happened. The birds that had it, they killed them. By that animal being sick, they can't sell it to be slaughtered for meat, so they got to kill it. But this is the one thing that isn't being brought up, though. Where the fuck did the avian flu come from? That's what they're not sharing with you. Where did it all come from? Now, back in 2014, 15, there was an outbreak of the avian flu H1N5 then. And we really didn't hear much word about that. But here is another vid of some more avian flu leads to deaths of 40 million birds on U.S. farms. And I will read you every prompt that comes up. So here we go. Avian flu has led to the deaths of nearly 40 million birds on U.S. farms. Sorry. This year, the U.S. has seen the most bird flu deaths since 2015, when 50 million farm birds were culled. In an effort to stop the spread of disease, farms kill all animals on any operation where an outbreak is detected, which is good because you never know which bird has it. So, much rather kill them all than just to select the ones who do have it. Because we don't know if the ones who don't have it actually have it, but it's just dormant. This includes backyard flocks with just a few birds. As well as industrial farms with millions of birds. And that's how some of y'all's birds are raised. That's how some of your meat is raised in facilities where they only have enough room just to walk a few steps until they plop down, because their body hasn't been formed correctly, because they have given them steroids in their food, so that they can grow to size in a short amount of time. So if you've ever seen any documentary that deals with this is why a lot of vegans harp on why we shouldn't be eating meat. This is why a lot of like activist groups such as PETA tells people why they shouldn't eat meat, and this is the way that they process food and shit like this. This is why. I don't want my theme music to play right now. But yeah, this is it. This is how most of your food gets processed. And not only that, with the cows, you saw the cows, they was in an open range and stuff like that. Most of the time they're not. Most of the time they're in a little small area where it's very muddy and they can only walk but so far because of them being caged in, and their legs basically being at least 2 to 3 feet deep in mud. So, I'm not a vegan by any stretch of the imagination. I love vegan food, but I'm not a vegan within any stretch of imagination. I love meat. Pause. Pause. But yeah, this is basically how some of the food is processed. So if I didn't read this, but as well as industrial farms with millions of birds. According to the CDC, infected birds transmit the virus through their saliva, mucus, and feces. Public health experts say human transmission is rare but can be fatal. And warn it is imperative to contain the virus before it mutates to spread more easily between humans. But modern industrial farms have few options to effectively cull millions of animals. And an animal protection organization say the design of modern poultry houses ensure they won't be able to humanely kill them. In past outbreaks, farms use methods such as carbon dioxide poisoning. That's pretty fucking cruel. And suffocation via firefighting foam. That's pretty cruel as well. Like, come on, y'all. But this year, 73% of calls on U.S. farms are reportedly done using a controversial method known as VSD+. A ven- or ventilation shutdown. VSD Plus kills animals by sealing off airflow to barns and raising temperatures inside. Now, to my Jewish people, I don't mean to say this by any stretch of the imagination of me trying to sound cruel or whatever. So please, please forgive me for saying this. All right? So, they're treating these chickens as if they were in the Holocaust. That's basically what they're doing when they do this culling. It's much easier for them for the simple fact that they suffocate them, raise the heat in the facility. They all suffocate and die, and that's easy for them. So they can all go in there and pick as many up as they can and throw them in the back of a truck so they can be disposed of. Which has been described as roasting animals alive and can take up to 3 hours. Researchers say large concentrations of animals raised in confinement, like factory farms, are ideal breeding grounds for the evolution and spread of pathogens. Because you see how close they are to each other? Like, y'all see me here, right? There could be another chicken shoulder to shoulder with me. If I turn around, all the way around, there's another chicken staring me in my face. That's how close they are to each other. And not only that, it's a little like trough in front of them that's but so big, probably like maybe like 5 inches maybe. They stick their head out of the gate to eat, right? Which has the steroid in it that allows them to grow faster than usual. And then most of them are just getting up, walking a couple steps, and then plopping back down because their bones can't take the weight that they have on them because their bones wasn't fully formed when they were being raised. So, with that being said, and I almost forgot my point, but with that being said, they gotta shit, right? They gotta pee, they gotta all of that is happening exactly where they are. So they're stepping on shit. Their feet and the bottom parts of their bodies are probably covered in shit. So who knows if they're doing if they have like a proper cleaning regimen that they do for the areas that they're in. So yeah, it will cause these animals to catch all kinds of pathogens. Just to scare y'all real fast, I'm gonna eat my chicken as soon as I go upstairs. But who knows what lies in the meat that we eat? We've all gotten sick from something. And that mass cullings may continue to happen as a result. We're doubling down on this same system by raising more animals with less genetic diversity and higher density in large operations. Dina Jones of the Animal Welfare Institute. Hold on. Let's go back to that. That's exactly what the fuck I was saying. By how cooped up these chickens are. If they turn around, it's a chicken staring them right in the face. That's how our chicken is processed. Our beef, same way. Our beef gets processed the same. The only thing with beef, I don't think that they accelerate their growth. I think they like naturally a cow will eat, the grass that's on the farm. So most of the time, the farmers give them like alfalfa and not hay. Yeah, hay. They give them hay, alfalfa, and they might put some clippings of the grass that they cut. If the grass isn't kept at a good level by the cows eating it, they'll put some of that into their feed as well. What the cows eat that we get, they eat grain. They eat wheat. Not saying that they can't eat that, but that's not the best diet for them. That's the reason why when you hear people talk about the difference between grass-fed beef to farm cow beef, how the redness in them is different. That's because the grass-fed beef, the cows were actually fed a good diet. That's probably the best beef you can get is grass-fed beef. It may cost more in the supermarket, but I advise you get grass-fed beef. Don't get the factory farmed beef where the meat is pink. You should be getting red beef, not pink beef. Pink beef is bad. So pink is bad, red is good. That's what you should be thinking when you get beef from the supermarket. Beef is bad. Pink is bad, red is good. All right? And also, don't so when you get and I'm gonna say this before I play the rest of this video. When you go to the store with your ground beef, don't get the 80-20. Because that basically just factors like how much meat to fat there is. So it's 80% meat, 20% fat. Get more of the higher numbers. Get like either 90-10 or 95-5, 97-3. You know what I'm saying? Get that. Get that. Because you want more protein than fat. Fat is good in your diet, but you don't want a lot of it. All right? You want more. That's the reason why if you go to a nutritionist, when it comes to like meat consumption, they'll tell you start eating more protein-rich meats. Although the fat is good, so if you can get your hands on some like some I don't know if they make beef lard at all, but if they do, if they make beef lard, fry your foods in beef lard. I know people say, well, lard is bad. That's the reason why most people have heart disease and stuff like that. No, it just replenishes some of the fat that you're actually cooking out of the meat. So if they have beef lard, don't use pork lard. Please don't use pork lard. It's just me being Muslim right now. Don't use pork lard. Use, if they have cow lard, use that. Or use olive oil that has a good, use avocado or olive oil that has a very those oils are very rich in omega 6s and omega 3s, which is a good fat that you need in your diet. So I suggest you to, get that. If you can, if they don't make cow lard, which I don't even think that they do. I'm not sure if they do, if they don't. But if they don't, use olive oil, which is rich in omega 3s, as well as avocado oil that has omega 6s in it. So it's good if you cook with those too, because that replenishes the fat that you need that gets burned off when you're cooking it. All right, that's just me telling you some health facts that I know. All right, and all of that contributes to making it difficult to humanely kill an animal during during an emergency. Dina Jones of Animal Welfare Institute. All right, how much time I got? All right, hopefully I can get out of here. How much time have I been on? 3 hours and 7 minutes. So hopefully I can get through this real fast. All right. So Yoko Santo, an associate professor of veterinary medicine, would work with poultry producers, explain why so many birds are getting sick and whether the outbreak threatens human health. All right. So I have some subtitles here that goes along with this. So my first subtitle is, why is avian influenza so deadly for domestic birds but not for wild birds that carry it? Avian influenza, or AI, is a contagious virus that affects all birds that are two. Hold on. Affect all birds. There are two groups of AI viruses that cause disease in chickens: highly pathogenic AI and low pathogenic AI. HPAI viruses cause high mortality in poultry and occasionally, I guess is what it says. Yes, occasionally, in some wild birds. LPAI can cause mild to moderate disease in poultry and usually little to no clinical signs of illness in wild birds. The primary natural host in reservoirs of AI viruses are wild waterfowl, such as like ducks and other wild waterfowl, such as ducks and geese. This means that the virus is well adapted to them, and these birds do not typically get sick when they are infected with it. Now, this is what I do want to say. If you see like an open farm or whatever, let's say like, it has cows, chickens, ducks and stuff like that, and geese, most of the time the geese are wild. Probably all the time the geese are wild, but all of the time, most of those geese are wild geese. They're just theirs because They were probably flying around, saw others that looked like them. They came down, saw a waterway as well for them to get cool and swim around in. They also saw that every so often there's food that gets thrown about. So they get used to that, which you always heard your grandmother say, stop feeding them birds, right? Because if you feed them once, they'll come back again for it, and then they'll just stay. Those are wild birds. Maybe they do have the flu. The flu or whatever. It's not presented as them looking sick, but they could carry it. Which with the domestic birds, they don't really have a good natural. Uh, what's the word? They don't have a good immune system because of their diet. They won't be able to fight off the virus as good as the wild duck. So it's just some nature shit y'all should be looking into. Just saying. Where am I at? This means that the virus is well adapted to them, and these birds do not typically get sick when they are infected with it. But when domesticated poultry such as chicken and turkeys come in direct or indirect contact with the feces of infected wild birds, they become infected and start to show symptoms such as depression, coughing, and sneezing, and sudden death. Damn, chickens and turkeys cough and sneeze. I've never seen a chicken cough before, look depressed, or sneeze before. Anyway, subtitle 2, there are multiple strains of avian flu. What type is this outbreak, and is it dangerous to humans? The virus of concern in this outbreak is a Eurasian H1N1 HPAI virus that causes high mortality and severe clinical signs in domesticated poultry. Scientists who monitor wild bird flocks have also detected a reassortant virus that contains genes from both the Eurasian H5 and low pathogen North American viruses. This happens when multiple strains of the virus circulating in the bird population exchange genes to create a new strain of the virus. Much as a new strain of COVID-19 like Omicron and Delta have merged during the ongoing pandemic. According to the U.S. Center of Disease Control and Prevention, the risk to public health from this outbreak is low. No human illness have been associated with this virus in North America. That was also true of the last H1N1 outbreak in the U.S. in 2014 and 15. Approximately 23 million chickens, turkeys, and game birds in commercial and backyard flocks had been culled as of April 3rd, 2022, after bird flu was detected on their sites. Y'all like the Shaft music, don't you? So, subtitle number 3. Should people avoid poultry products until this outbreak ends?
The bird flu outbreak that killed more than 40 million chickens and turkeys and led to egg and meat prices skyrocketing is slowing down, at least for now. The Department of Agriculture won't say that the outbreak is officially on its way out just yet and caution another surge could happen this fall. The cost of the outbreak is still being tallied, but the USDA has already approved $793 million in additional funding this year.
Oh, in another helpful hint. When you hear free range chickens, please don't think that those chickens get to roam about. Free range could mean that they have some sort of gate that's maybe 2 feet in the open air of outside of the coop of which they're kept in. That is basically a free range chicken, basically. Rather than having a gate that reaches like 2 to 5 feet outside of the coop of where they're at. So if you see on the package that you get of chicken free range, it looks just like how those chickens were, but they were able to go outside in the open air 2 to 5 feet. That's what that means. And you can get that information off of the documentary Super Size Me Part 2, I believe. Yeah, Super Size Me Part 2. So, yeah. And he actually worked with actual like poultry farmers because he wanted to make his own chicken what was it? His own chicken restaurant. So yeah. I'm trying to find a video real fast. Not for y'all, but for me later. Some guy just that I was talking about earlier, he went live. I'm gonna have to type him in because I can't find him. So. Boom, boom, boom. Bing, boom, boom, boom. All right, got that out the way. All right, I'm done with the videos. Just got a few more paragraphs for you guys, and then we'll be out of here in just a minute. Actually done with the pictures as well. So I'll show the cow and the chicken once again. So, here's the cow, and here's like 3 chickens or whatever. So, boom, boom. All right, get rid of this. And I can bring this over. All right, I'm operating off of one screen now, and I'll get right to you in just a minute. Like this. Hey, check that out. Okay. Fix that later, but all right. So I said not. No, that's not necessary. Infected poultry or eggs do not enter the food supply chain, so they say. To detect avian influenza, the U.S. Department of Agriculture oversees routine testing of flocks done by farmers and carries out federal inspection programs to ensure that eggs and birds are safe and free of virus. When H1N1 is diagnosed on a farm or in a backyard flock, state and federal officials will quarantine the site and call and dispose of all the birds in the infected flocks. Then the site is decontaminated after several weeks without new virus detection. The area is required to test negative in order to be deemed free of infection. We call this process the 4Ds of outbreak control: diagnosis, depopulation, disposal, and decontamination. Avian influenza is not transmissible by eating properly prepared and cooked poultry, so eggs and poultry are safe to eat. The USDS recommends cooking eggs and poultry in an internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit, 74 degrees Celsius. These are the same people that give a guideline of how much contaminant you can have in food as well. If it reaches over so many million whatevers, then that's when you have to dispose of it. But at the same time, you can still have hair and all kinds of shit. And the ones that do pass it, like, it's a slippery slope nonetheless. I'm just trying to tell y'all, there are just like I have a procedure at my job. I'm in manufacturing. Just like I have a procedure at my job, they have procedures that they have to follow at their job. And by that being said, they, just like I have certain federal regulated processes and things that I have to follow, they also do as well. And we're in the same industry. The the FDA. I don't work for the FDA, but my company, or the company that I work for, industry that we have, is regulated by the FDA. So just like I have certain regulations that I have to follow, they follow the same recommendations. I mean regulations, they're recommendations. Regulations. So who knows what we're getting in our food? Now, this is subtitle number 4, I believe, or 3. I don't know how many I've done so far. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm on subtitle 4. Are avian influenza outbreaks happening more frequently around the world, or do we just hear more about them than we did 20 to 30 years ago? The dynamics of the spread of avian influenza viruses are very complex. HPAI is a transboundary disease, which means it is highly contagious and spreads rapidly across national borders. Some research indicates that the detection of HPAI viruses in wild birds has become more common. Reports are seasonal, with a peak in February and a low point in September. There are ongoing outbreaks of HPAI in wild birds in Asia, Europe, and Africa. Many migratory bird species travel thousands of miles between continents, posing a continuing risk of AI virus transmission. In addition, we have been diagnostic tests for much more rapid and improved detection of avian influenza compared to 20 to 30 years ago. Using molecular diagnostics such as polymers Sorry. So let's read that again. So using Molecular diagnostics such as polymers, chain reaction, PCR tests, the same method labs use to detect COVID-19 infections. If YouTube is watching, I don't care. But PCR tests don't fucking work. PCR tests detect COVID. No, what was they called? Coronaviruses anyway. Colds and flus. So it doesn't matter if the PCR test says positive. The damn bird could just have a damn cold. But hey, who am I? I'm just a regular person. Anyway, subtitle 5, and this is the end. What's the prospect of developing a vaccine for poultry that could reduce the economic harm from outbreaks? Many factors would have to be weighed before adopting vaccinations. As a strategy for controlling HPAI, at this point, the Department of Agriculture has not approved the use of vaccinations in the U.S. for protecting birds from avian influenza. One reason is for this is that using vaccines would potentially affect international trade and poultry exports. Importers would not be able to distinguish vaccinated birds from infected birds based on routine testing, so they might ban all U.S. poultry exports. Vaccination also could delay outbreak detection, since it could potentially hide non-apparent infections in infected birds. And if infections go unnoticed, they could spread to other farms before farmers can put control measures in place. Avian influenza vaccines and reduce clinical signs, sickness, and death rates in domestic poultry, but they would not prevent birds from becoming infected with the virus. Ultimately, the USDA goal is to eradicate HPAI quickly after it's detected. However, vaccines could be used to help control an outbreak, and this is an option that the agency is investigating now. How much time I got? I got 2 minutes. And I want to say this before I go. Y'all's boy, Bill Gates, he owns practically almost all of the United States farmland here in America. Also, during, I believe, 2020, in 2021, I believe, the United States government paid farmers to destroy their crops so they could get a higher payment than what they would by selling their crops. I know y'all didn't know that. Now, farmers would have a dilemma on their hands. Do I get this $100,000 check next to this $50,000 check that I'm gonna get by actually putting selling my birds off for processing? Or I said birds. I meant crops. What would be more ethical for me? Either to sell the birds, just get $50,000 for the flock that I got, Or do I get the 100,000 just by killing them? Also, that everything that I'm saying is for you guys to think about. Also, Bill Gates wants to create a cell-based meat. So basically, meat made from cells, from animal cells. And I got it right here in front of me. I'll read this to you guys real fast. Who wants meat from a petri dish? Oh. All right. So, what is cell meat? Cell cultured meat is one such source, also known as cultivated or lab-grown meat. This process uses cells from animals to make meat without slaughter. Well, what animals are they getting to do this? That's all I'm asking. That's number one. What animals are they picking? While the nascent sector is a hot topic for the benefits it promises, the process remains slow and costly. Investments in this sector are heating up. For cell-based meat, yo. All right. Let's get to the science of cultivated meat. Because this is your boy's doing. This is Bill Gates' doing. Okay, I guess we'll refresh. So, the science of cultivated meat. Learn about the science of cultivated meat and the challenges that must be addressed for commercial production. Introduction of cultivated meat. What is cultivated meat? Cultivated meat, also known as cultured meat, is genuine animal meat, including seafood and organ meats. That is processed by cultivating animal cells directly. This production method eliminates the need to raise and farm animals for food. Cultivated meat is made of the same cell type arranged in the same or similar structure as animal tissues, thus replenishing? Replicating. What the fuck? Replicating the sensory and nutritional profiles of conventional meat. So, do y'all basically want to eat meat where they're pumping our nutritional needs in? Lab-grown meat. That's basically what they want us to eat. And I'm pretty sure in this book it goes over that. I'm pretty sure. I'm not saying it does, but I'm pretty sure. So, Dutch scientist Mark Post unveiled the first cultivated meat burger on live television in 2013. 2 years later, the first 4 cultivated meat companies were founded. The industry has since grown to more than 60 companies on 6 continents, backed by $450 million plus in investments, each aiming to produce cultivated meat products. Dozens more companies have formed to create technology solutions along the value chain. Decades of acclimated knowledge in cell culture, stem cell biology, tissue engineering, fermentation, and chemical and bioprocess engineering proceeded the field of cultivated meat. Hundreds of companies and academic laboratories worldwide are conducting research across these disciplines to establish a new paradigm for manufacturing commodity meat products at industrial scales. This is where I'm scared y'all. How is cultivated meat made? The manufacturing process begins with acquiring and banking stem cells from an animal. These cells are then grown in bioreactors. There's two words there that I do not know. Well, cultivators, but what is this other word? Colloquially, yeah, that word. Yeah. I'm gonna say it with an R, but it's not. I was gonna say colloquially, but no, it's not how it's said. Anyway, change the R that I just said into a QU sounding, and bang, that's what you got. Anyway, moving on. We're trying to get out of here. At high densities and volumes, similar to what happens inside an animal's body, the cells are fed an oxygen-rich cell culture medium made up of basic nutrients such as amino acids, which is a protein source, glucose, which is a sugar source that your body makes, that your body needs. Sorry, no, your body makes glucose as well. So that your body needs, vitamins and inorganic salts, and that could mean anything. Just letting y'all know. Inorganic salts mean anything. And supplemented with proteins and other growth factors. Changes in the medium consumption, often in tandem with cues from a scuffling structure triggering immature cells to differentiate into the skeletal muscle, fat, and connective tissues that make up meat. The differentiated cells are then harvested, prepared, and packaged into final products. This process is expected to take between 2 to 8 weeks, depending on what kind of meat is being cultivated. Some companies are pursuing a similar strategy to create milk and other dairy products. Now, that's fucking nasty. What are the benefits? There are no benefits. Come on now. What will cultivated meat make to when will cultivated meat make it to market? Now, I need to fucking read this part. As of mid-2020, several leading cultivated meat companies are transitioning to pilot scale facilities that will manufacture the first wave of commercialized products following regulatory approval. The Singapore Food Agency approved the world's first cultivated meat product for sale in December 2020. Shortly thereafter, the 1,880 restaurant in Singapore marked the historic first commercial sale of the approved cultivated chicken bite produced by California-based Eat Just. Further scaling production to significantly large facilities that what currently exists will require solving an array of complex challenges. These challenges range across 4 key areas: cell line, cell culture media, bioprocess design, and scaffolding. Solving these challenges and propelling the cultivated meat industry into maturity will require an influx of funding from both the public and private sectors. New courses, research centers, and training programs to scientists, as well as policy work and regulatory action will accelerate process. The field also needs new companies, contributions from existing life science companies, and openness to collaboration from existing cultivated meat companies. Many new career opportunities will need to be filled by talented scientists, business people, and other contributors along the value chain. It's taking a long time for my screen from what you guys see. It's taking a long time for my screen to. Okay. What does this say? Many different cell types can be used to cultivate meat. Further research is needed to make cell lines more accessible and to determine how the selection of a cell type and its properties influence the downstream process considerations. Now, this is what your homeboy Bill Gates has basically not allowed, but basically have been trying to make the United States shift over to. That's just like with the Beyond Meats and all that, like Beyond Company and the what's the other company's name? You have Beyond, and then you have what the fuck is the other one? Beyond Meat, Morningstar Farm, Garden Inn, Tofurkey, Field Roast, Ivis, what was it? Ivis what? Before the Butcher, Beyond Meat, Morningstar Farm, Garden Inn, Tofurkey, Field Roast, Ivis, Veggie Cuisine, Trader Joe's, Light Life, Boca Burger. What's the one? It's 2 of them that are always talked about. There's Beyond Meat. What's the other one? Come on, man. Give it to me. Anyway, I can't remember it. Impossible. That's what it is. Beyond Meat and Impossible. Those are vegan meats. So they say. They're plant-based meats. Now, if you ever try to figure out the process of how they make these processed plant-based meats, there's a YouTube channel called Healthy Junk Food. They did a test run of how they made a plant-based burger and everything that had to go into it. Well, let me not get off of Bill Gates. Bill Gates is the largest farmland owner in the country. He also wants people to sell cultivated meats. And then your boy Klaus Schwab here wants people to eat bugs. And he wants all of this to happen. And they want all of this to happen by the year 2030. And a lot of things are coming within its wake as well. But, you know, I'm only the alarm for you guys. So, hey, man, that's been today's show. Just know that there's some fuckery happening in these industries. With all of this, like, and this is one thing I didn't ask, but I want to ask it now. How many people does 10,000 cows feed? That's a question that I want you guys, homework assignment for you guys until next week. Find out how many people 10,000 cows feed, as well as what they say, 23 million. Figure out how many people 23 million chicken and turkeys feed as well. That's your homework assignment for the week. And then come back to me and tell me what you guys found. Now, with that being said, I also want to give Bill Cosby, hey man, just take all the pills out your house. That's all I ask. Take all the pills out your house. And make sure you don't have any alcoholic beverages in your house as well. If you, to Andrew Wyatt, if you give him any type of alcoholic beverage, don't. Put some old duels in his house, and he'll be fine. It tastes just like beer. And to Vanessa Bryant, like I said, I commend you for what you're doing for your family. We need more strong women like you and more family-oriented females like you as well. So everybody, that's been today's show. Let me go over some promotions real fast, and I'll get y'all out of here. So, people, Fridays and Saturdays, I come online and do this very show, Marcus Speaks and Marcus Speaks Play. I do Marcus Speaks Play on Fridays at 6:30-ish p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as well as I do Marcus Speaks Live at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I was a little late today because I wasn't that prepared, so I just had to get the last couple things done, so no worries. As well as, come and check me out on Fridays and Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time each time on each day. So come and check me out. As well, go to the description box. Pick either channel you want. It doesn't matter. And you can subscribe to both. All right? So the way you do that, subscribe to Marcus Speaks, hit the bell icon to all, scroll down, you'll see Marcus Speaks Play. Subscribe to that and hit the bell icon to all so you can get all of my notifications once I go live. All right? I'm also on Twitch when I do my game streams, so if you find that to be cool, then go on over to Marcus Speaks Productions on twitch.tv and I'll be right there. I solved the problem that I was talking about last night to where the videos weren't being saved. So I have 2 videos from last week and yesterday's stream up on Twitch right now with the Marcus Speaks Play that I've done. So you can go and check both of those videos out. A lot of action in them. So, do what you got to do. Also, could you like this video? Share this video to all your social media platforms, and also subscribe, and hit that bell icon to all. So once I go live, you'll immediately get the notification. All right. So with that, if you ever want to come up on the show, there's only two rules. There will always be a link in the description box, not the description box, the chat box. It's always right there at the top. If you want to come talk to me about any of the topics that I talked about on the show, as far as my podcast goes, I don't do that with Marcus Speaks Play, but as far as the podcast goes, if you want to come up here and talk to me about the show, you can by hitting that link, and there's only two rules. First rule, you must be on camera when you're publicly up here talking to me. Second rule, if you don't want to be on camera publicly, you still have to be on camera on the backstage of this this podcast, so I can see who I'm talking to first before the rest of the world doesn't see you. So those are the only two rules I have. I should put a third rule of please silence all background noise. So I'll make sure I put that up there after this the stream ends. But anyway, people, I thank y'all for being here. I'm not going to play my theme music because I don't really feel like it. But with that being said, make sure y'all drink a lot of water. All right, make sure you put more water into your diet. Also, make sure you mind your own business. Not everybody's business is your business. So just start minding your own business. And if you could, make sure you do your own research. It helps out in the long run. All right. So everybody, thank y'all for watching. Peace out. I'll check you out guys out next Friday. All right. Peace out.